Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tina Nguyen, the founder of XXL Scrunchie. This is XXL Bruce. My small business is over 5 years now. We've hit over 40,000 lifetime orders, something I never imagined when I first started. Well, I always dreamed of it. Let me tell you, those 5 years have been full of learning, so much fun, and lots of mistakes. Today, I want to share things I wasted money on as a baby CEO. And by baby, I just mean new. If I can help at least one person avoid these mistakes, save money, save some tears that I shed, then this video will be worth it. Let's get into it. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to be elasticing scrunchies as I talk because I like to make the most of my time. I'm just gonna put this pillow over Bruce to make a barrier between the scrunchies and Bruce. So to elastic a scrunchie, you need your scrunchie tube that we sew ourselves and cut. And then you need your bodkin and elastic and your scissors. These are scrunchies from the new spring collection, so if you guys follow along, this is a sneak peek. When I started this business in January 2020, I was just a girl with her mom's old sewing machine, a dream, and no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know how to ship orders when I first started. And along the way, I spent money on things that I thought I needed. Once I started making money, I found it a little easier to spend money on more expensive things. I spent money on things that seemed like good investments at the time, but looking back, not so much. Let's break it down to my top 5 things I've wasted money on as a baby. Oh, CEO. Number 1, expensive photo shoot locations and models. When I first started, I took all my product photos myself. I have this old Nikon camera from high school, and I would pose with the scrunchie like this, and then go back and on the camera hit and just take pictures of myself like that. Or I would put the camera here, put the scrunchie in my hair, go run against the wall, pose, hit the timer button on the camera, but then go run and pose and take a picture. It was exhausting because I had like so many products to go through by myself. And sometimes I was like out of frame and in frame and half in frame. It was chaotic. I always saw other brands booking big studios with that like big white backdrop and big lights or huge windows, and they had models. And I always was like, oh, that would be a dream of mine to do. I want that for my small business. So I tried it. It was a great experience, but would I do it again? No. And why? Because the price. I realized all I needed is just like a small wall or like a backdrop at my house, or even go outside. We did photos at the beach. All I had to pay for was the parking pass and for the photographer. The models were amazing that I booked, and I used a modeling company called Model that's local to my area. The models were amazing and the photos turned out beautiful, but I hired 2 in one day, and it was just so overwhelming for me to manage 2 different models at once. And I just wasn't optimizing my time. I was just like, my brain was just heightened because I had to make sure to make the most use of their time, and like one of them would be waiting around for me to fix their hair when the other one was shooting. So that was my bad to book 2. It was just too much at once. The studio was huge, and all we shoot are scrunchies, so I don't need a huge space. It's not like I'm shooting furniture. So keep that in mind. If you're booking or doing photo shoots, just use the space that you need, not that you really want. That was a hard lesson for me. Now I try to model still as much as I can, and then I hire models with different hair types depending on the product and the launch, but I just hire one at a time. And I try to be more intentional. Like, you don't need some big fancy studio. I actually have this piece of tile I bought from Home Depot, and I put that on a table, and that's like the background for most of our scrunchie photos. And that piece of tile is very portable. I can move it towards the light, and it just makes more sense for photos to just use what you need, for me at least. So I hope that saves someone's dream of getting a big fancy photo shoot studio. It's a cool experience, and maybe you need to do it to realize you don't need it. But that's one of the things I've wasted money on. When I started my small business, I had no idea how important branding was. I just wanted a logo, something simple. But I quickly realized branding is everything. It sets the tone for your business, and honestly, it can be overwhelming. That's where Design.com comes in. Design.com is an all-in-one branding platform that helps businesses, entrepreneurs, and creators design stunning logos, business cards, social media graphics, and websites in just a few clicks. Their AI-powered logo maker creates thousands of unique, handcrafted logos in seconds. And these aren't even generic templates. Design.com has one of the largest libraries of exclusive logos made by world-class designers. You can customize everything: colors, fonts, layouts, until your logo is exactly how you want it. Then you'll instantly get all the files you need to launch your business. But it doesn't stop at logos. Design.com gives you an entire suite of branding tools, from business cards to social media posts to a website builder, even a digital business card creator. And the best part, everything is automatically customized to match your logo's colors, making your branding look seamless and professional. And people love Design.com. With a 4.7 star rating on Trustpilot, it's helped thousands of entrepreneurs build their dream brands, myself included. If you're launching a business or just want to level up your branding, stop stressing and let Design.com do the heavy lifting. Just enter your business name at Design.com, browse logos, and edit as many as you want for free. It's that simple. Number 2, custom packaging. This one might be controversial because some people may say it's good branding, but then some people are like, it's what's on the inside that counts. I'm leaning towards the it's what's on the inside that counts. But yeah, it hurts to say custom packaging is overrated because we've had so much of custom packaging before. I've actually just ran out and we're starting to just use plain brown boxes because they're just easier to order and a lot more cost efficient for like shipping wise and ordering wise. I definitely overspent on boxes and mailers because I wanted them so bad before. I have all these dreams that I think I need so bad to like be a real business, and then I get them and I'm like, oh, like this doesn't make me a real business. It makes you a real business if you're out there and you just keep trying and show up every day. So these are big brown mailer bags that you guys may see me pack with a lot. Those, when I ordered like I think 5,000 because that was the minimum to even make it worth it. And the samples we got sent worked perfectly, but then the bulk order I got shipped, we didn't use them for like a couple months because I was still trying to get rid of our old poly mailers. And by the time I started using our new packaging, the seal on them, like the seal you pull off, doesn't stick. All of them do not stick. So that means if I were like pack a package in that mailer and like ship it off, the bag would just come undone and then all the stuff would pour out. That was like so devastating because I reached out to the manufacturer and they're like, oh, it's past the due date to get a refund. But like you can only ask for a refund for that stuff within 30 days. So now I check everything I receive almost right away in case something devastating like that happens again. And what they did do was send us like rolls of double-sided tape, and then we have to put the seal on ourselves, cut it, and then like we're basically adding a seal ourselves to like thousands of bags just so we can use them. How crazy is that? And we still have so many left because I ordered too many of the big size. We're actually all gone of the smaller size mailer bags, and now we have these nice black poly mailers made of cornstarch. But yeah, I over-ordered the big size and they were damaged, and then I was just like, after these experiences, custom packaging is overrated. Use like eco-friendly packaging when and where you can, and your customers will be happy with what's on the inside. This sweater is from this brand, See the Way I See. It says, I'm pretty cool, but I cry a lot. And on the sleeve, it says, wipe tears here. Her name's Sophie. We actually are like good friends. She sells out every drop, and she ships her stuff in just plain packaging, and that probably saves her a lot of money. She adds like a sticker on it, and on the inside she adds a cute thank you card and stuff like that, but on the outside she doesn't have this custom like crazy branding, and I appreciate that because I definitely wasted money on our custom packaging. If I could go back, I would invest in something just more simple and practical and maybe not buy so many at once. Oh, it's so hard. You don't learn until you really make the mistake. But there's great eco-friendly brands that I've used before I got my custom packaging, like No Issue Co. We order our boxes from Uline, if that helps. Our plain boxes. And then I know No Issue Co. also has custom paper tape. But this is like a side thing I wasted money on that I didn't include in my notes. Our paper tape machine. It's from Uline and it's an automatic paper tape machine. It did save us a lot of time because you just press a button and the tape shoots out, but it's been getting jammed lately and that thing was expensive and now it's hard to sell because it's so heavy. You can't really ship it to people. Well, you can, but then it costs so much money. So yeah, custom packaging and my paper tape machine, the automatic one, wasted money on that. I could have just gotten the hand crank one that doesn't require you to plug it in. That one works just as good and it's a fraction of the cost if you want to use paper tape. So with packaging, start simple and then upgrade when there's a demand. Number 3, hiring the wrong financial advisor. This one hurts. This one makes me so sad because I lost a lot of money trusting the wrong advisor. I'm not saying you shouldn't get financial help, but this is just what happened to me. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an advisor. This is just a bad situation that happened to me, trusting the wrong person. So I was recommended this person from my other accountant who used to do my dad's, because my parents owned a restaurant for like their whole lives, basically. Not whole lives, but since we came to Belleville, which I was 10, so that was like over 20 years ago. Owned restaurants, and the accountant that used to do my dad's books for my parents' business, my dad recommended her to me, and I just like instantly was like, okay, I can trust her, I'll just go to her. She recommended me this financial advisor who I'm no longer using. That accountant was great, by the way. This financial advisor like recommended me to invest in this policy. She phrased it to me that I would save X amount of money each year and in the future I could pull out this, blah, blah, blah. You're not really supposed to say these things because it's not guaranteed you will get that. It's not a guarantee because I've talked to other advisors about this and I showed them what she told me and I was just very misled, but I was very naive, so I don't blame anyone but me because I wish I questioned this more, but I just had this blind, naive trust in this person. And then I ended up losing a huge chunk of money that I put in that policy, only realizing next year I had to like deposit more to keep that money. And then I felt like that was so wrong and I wasn't aware of that. So I just stopped depositing the money in this policy that I didn't even need. A lot of people that I can now count on and trust now were like, no, that like you don't need that. That policy no longer exists and is even allowed to be used like that. So if I invested again just to keep that money, I would have lost it anyway. So I'm glad I pulled out after putting it in the first time. If something doesn't feel comfy, try to find someone else, even another advisor, 2 other advisors to ask, what is this and what does it mean? I signed on to these things and it was all my fault that I did it, but lesson learned. Hope you learned from this too, to really think about what you're investing in if you're investing money from your business into other things. Don't rush into financial decisions that you might not understand. I totally did that and I know it's my fault. I still feel like so stupid even a year later. I think it's been 2 years now. Makes me feel like such a failure and I remember crying so much because money to me and my family means so much because my parents are Vietnamese, I'm Vietnamese, and they escaped during the war and they came here with nothing. I saw them work so hard every day of their lives to give me and my brothers like opportunities they didn't get because my dad was like in law school in Vietnam. He didn't get to continue that. He had so many other goals and dreams and they put us through university and college if we wanted to go. And so like losing that money that I could have given back to them, that's the worst part of all of this. Even me, like some people think you own such a big small business, you must be doing amazing. I still make huge mistakes, but looking back they seem like so self-explanatory and like you get, what's that saying, hindsight 2020 when you're looking back. So yeah, regrets with that. But at the end of the day, I'll never make that mistake again, and hopefully you won't either. Next up, upgrading your space too quickly. Don't forget to hydrate, guys. I have my greens powder in here. It's the best tasting greens powder from a Canadian family business. This is like the only greens powder that actually tastes so good. Like I drink it every day in this big water jug. If you guys are new here, I'll give you a quick recap on my like warehouse journey. I started my small business in my 400 square foot warehouse, so it's probably just like the size of this area that you can see on screen. And then 2 weeks later, it moved to my parents' living room. And then 9 months later, we renovated and started working from their basement. And then it was a year and a half, I moved to the first warehouse space, which was like 2,000 square feet. And now we're in our new warehouse space. We moved into that one like 9 months after the first one. And that's like 4,000 to 5,000 square feet. So that's where we are now. It's huge. And at the time we did need the space because we were expanding so many products. But looking back, I think I went a little too big too fast because the rent, your lease money is much higher if you're in a bigger space, bigger expenses, bigger responsibilities. I wish I waited a little bit to find like a middle ground space, not quite doubling the size so quickly. I could have saved a lot of money, and honestly, right now I'm trying to look at reducing our lease size because we don't need all this space. If we reorganize, like I know we could condense it a little more. So that is one of my regrets, growing a little too quick into our space because I could have saved a lot of money on the rent. So yeah, right now I'm actually looking at doing smaller because we just do limited drops. That's what you guys love. That's what we love making. And when they sell out, we still have that space free for the next product drop. So yeah, our space is a little too big right now, and that's me being honest with you guys. Obviously, it's hard to admit for small business owners to make mistakes, but I hope this helps someone else out there too. Like, you don't need your huge space right away. You just, even with the photo shoot, you just need what you need and save money where you can, because in the long run, you're not working this hard to waste money, right? Grow at your own pace and don't rush into finding a space, as anxious as you might be, because I get the feeling. I wanted to get out of my parents' house so bad. Just because it feels like the next step, like, don't rush and make use of what you have. You're doing amazing. Don't forget. And I kind of miss my parents' house days. I had no rent. I could just go downstairs and go to work. Like, I didn't have to drive to work. So there's pros and cons to both. Number 5, overbuying product. I need to say this to everyone. It's okay if you sell out of a product. I wasn't okay with that because when we were making like our limited scrunchies in the very beginning, I obviously couldn't make like hundreds because it was just me and my mom and my dad. And when we would sell out, I would be like, oh, I wish I had more of that scrunchie in stock so that I could sell more and more people could get them and more people wouldn't be sad that it's sold out. But it's okay if it sells out. Back then I would panic and overbuy fabric just to like be able to restock again and not miss out on those sales. There's been 2 times where I thought I didn't order this fabric yet, so then I ordered it again. So we just have so much of this plaid fabric sitting in our warehouse. And now we're sitting on some fabric that hasn't been touched in like 2 years, and you can't really return that back to the manufacturer. So now I'm finding creative ways to make use of it. Like, we made dog bandanas and we're making some cute makeup pouches, and then I might actually sell them to other makers, creators, small business owners, quilters, because I want to find a home for the fabric. I don't want it to just be sitting there, and I'm definitely not going to throw it out. But again, that's money that could have stayed in my bank account for my future, and it could have been used in better ways. So if you sell out, let it be special, and congrats. Like, that's amazing. You don't have to restock everything immediately. It's a long game. Like, it's been 5 years for me, and I'm only just learning this. So those are the 5, I think I named 6 things I wasted money on as a baby CEO / small business owner. At the end of the day, mistakes are part of the journey. I know one friend, she clicked on an email scam and then paid a supplier, but the email looked exactly like her supplier and she lost all that money too. It's not just me, it might happen to you. It happens to everyone. We don't talk about it all the time. There's other sides of being a small business owner that may not be the happiest, but I hope you can learn from these mistakes at least. Because if I saw this video, I would learn a lot. It would kind of open my eyes and be like, okay, I don't need that to survive and be like a small business owner. I guess I wouldn't change anything except for a few, because now these are mistakes I will never make again. Very expensive mistakes. I'll consider it a win if it helps at least one person out there. Let me know in the comments if there's something that you wish you hadn't spent money on your small business, because maybe it might help someone else out there, and maybe it might help me too in my future. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next vlog. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Who's my good boy? He slept the whole time? Whoa. Lay down. Lay down. No. Bruce. No. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm out of breath from lifting him up.